Reframing Podcast, c'est un podcast qui là pour faire sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale dans un langage qui est facile pour comprendre. Reframing Podcast pote pour moun k'ap koute yo plusieurs sujets qui pourraient aider yo réfléchir sur une situation négative ou sinon difficile dans une autre perspective ou soit dans une façon qui est plus positive, ça qui ka aider yo faire penser négatif tourner opportunité pour changement à croissance. Reframing Podcast, un espace pour sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale. Hi everyone, welcome to Reframing Podcast. I'm Dr. Jeff Cadichon, the host and the creator of this space where we explore mental health through fresh perspective and practical conversation. And today I'm joined by my colleague, Dr. Laura Markowitz. And I'm very, very, very happy to be with her. So we're going to talk about understanding children behavior through connection, communication, and evidence-based strategies. So Dr. Markowitz is a Post-Doctoral Psychology Resident at the Center for Psychological Growth and Wellness. This is actually where I met her while I was doing my own postdoctoral residency. And Dr. Markowitz also earned her PsyD in clinical psychology from Nova Southeastern University. This is an American Psychological Association accredited program. Her major paper focused on treatment outcomes in children diagnosed with disruptive behavior disorders. She provides individual, family, and group therapy as well as psychological testing that is really important. And Dr. Markowitz is proficient in treating clients presenting with symptoms of behavior disorders, neurodevelopmental disorders, anxiety, depression, and it's very important, trauma. We also have to say that her professional approach combines evidence-based therapeutic, evidence-based therapy, and also she's using something that is really important, client-centered focus that aims to create effective, personalized treatment plans and strong therapeutic alliances. So I would like also to mention that Dr. Markowitz's goal in therapy is to help clients from a plan of action to live their best life. This is really important. So, Dr. Laura Markowitz, welcome to Reframing Podcast, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I can't believe
Thank
you
you
are
for
here.
having me. I'm very excited to be here.
So, how does it feel today? How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited. I've never been in a studio before.
So, I'm happy to have you. This is your first time?
This is my first time.
So, you will remember that.
Yes, always. Always.
Okay, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna go by Laura, and Jeff. So I'm gonna call you Laura. You're gonna call me Jeff, and it's gonna be better.
All right.
Okay,
Perfect.
this is how we call each other at the office.
We do, yeah.
So, Laura, so can you share really what initially drew you to working with children and families, particularly around behavior challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, when I was younger, I always worked volunteering in different classrooms. Even when I was in elementary school, I was helping the little kindergartners, the little first graders, and they would usually pair me with children who have autism, who needed a little extra support socially. And that sometimes comes hand in hand with behavior problems. So ever since I was little, I was doing that. And as I aged, I found new ways to help people, which sort of ended up with me in an ADHD testing clinic where, again, behavior problems can appear. And
That's great. So
yes,
this is like a mission because in the world right now, autism is very uh, present, and we need
yeah,
support. We need also expert to support families. I mean, yesterday, one of my guests. He was explaining to us that he's doing homeschooling, and his son has been diagnosed with autism, and he was explaining to me and to the audience how it is very challenging. And I think this conversation will be very helpful to him too, and the rest of his family. So yeah, but now when parents, my question for you now is like a lot of parents describe most of the time their child has misbehaving. So how do you help them reframe what that behavior may actually be communicating?
right. And I think that in and of itself is a very helpful skill to do, reframing that misbehavior as communication. This behavior is not to get back at someone, it's not in order to upset the people around them. It's children's way of communicating. And usually, what they're communicating is an unmet skill. They're communicating that they're overwhelmed and this is just their response to that, or they're communicating a need that they have. So, helping parents first understand that is going to be the key.
That's great. So now this is important to ask you, what are
Yeah.
some common misunderstanding parents have about disruptive or challenging behaviors?
Well, one being that the kids are only doing this just because they want to upset the people around them, or they're doing this in order to get back at the parent for saying
I heard
no.
that a lot.
Of
Yeah.
course, because when it comes to behavior, this is how children know how to communicate. And if we think back to newborn babies, they don't have the words just yet, so they cry.
Yeah.
And crying is a behavior. So that is their way of saying, hey, I need something, please come give me attention. And that's another important point to go on. Each behavior has a role, it has a function of something that I will get in response to that behavior. So little babies, when they cry, they get that attention being one of those functions of behavior. And there's 4. Usually I tell parents, remember the word seat. You're sitting in your seat to help try to figure out what is this behavior that my child is
Yeah.
doing right now and what is the goal that the behavior is trying to get.
That's interesting.
So S will stand for sensory. I'm getting some type of physical response to this.
That
And
we are describing seed.
seat,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the S would be sensory, and that could be something like my body is not feeling good, and I take a drink of water, and all of a sudden I feel better.
Yeah.
That action of drinking the water will soothe the sensory behaviors. In kids with autism, this could be I'm feeling overwhelmed, so I'm going to spin in a circle over and over again. Someone might be saying, hey, stop that. You can't spin in the middle of
Yeah.
Publix. But that's soothing me. That's helping me feel better in the moment.
Yeah.
The next one of seat would be the E. That's escape. Something is happening right now that I do not like, and I have to remove myself from this environment. That could be this homework is so boring, and so I'm going to throw a tantrum so I don't have to do this homework. Their way of communicating this is too much for me right now, but it gets me out of doing the homework. The next one would be A,
Yeah.
probably the most important one in my opinion. That's attention.
Yeah.
Kids want their parents' attention, so they will do anything that they can if they don't feel like they're getting enough attention to get that attention back, whether it's a positive attention or a negative one. And that tends to be what we
Is
see.
this thing that happened, for example, when I'm with my 6-year-old daughter, and if she's okay, she's doing her thing. As soon as I get a phone call, I'm talking to someone.
Yeah.
She needs me for a lot of things that she
Yeah.
didn't need before. Hey dad, I feel, I have stomach pain, or I don't know, can you play with me, or can you do this with me? So yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see that like she needs that attention, and she needs undivided attention. So
100%.
you can, as a parent or as a human being, so I can be like, come on, why now? So yeah, you were playing normally, there was nothing. Why you need me right now? And I'm on the phone, and it's for work and everything. So
Right.
what you're saying is this is communication.
It is. It is. That attention is gold to children. They go to school for several hours a day. Parents are working for several hours a day, so they don't always get as much attention that they may need in that moment. But that attention-seeking behavior is them reaching out for that connection.
Okay.
They need you, and they're going to try everything that they can in order to get that attention. And so it's our job to help them understand you don't need to engage in these negative attention behaviors in order to get that attention.
Oh, we're going to get to that after, how to manage that.
We will.
And what does the T stand for, though?
The T stands for anything tangible, so a physical object, an activity that they may want to do, Legos, painting. I'm going to do everything I can in order to get that. So that could be, I ask very politely, hey, can I have the Legos that are on the shelf in the store? And the parent can say yes or no. Or it could be, I'm going to scream and yell in order to get that object that is on the shelf.
We see that a lot.
We
in
do.
In the stores, like, oh my goodness.
That's probably one of the most common one with young kids.
Yeah.
They live in the moment.
Yes. So now I think we're going to move to some practical strategies. Let's see how we can manage and address those behaviors. There is something that you mentioned to me as we were preparing this conversation, token economies. Token economies are frequently recommended in behavior management. Can you explain actually what a token economy is in like simple terms for our audience?
Yeah, so a token economy, a token system is a reward-based system that is structured. Essentially what happens is you have clearly defined behaviors. When the child engages in that behavior, they will earn a token. And a token can be a star, a sticker, a check mark, some kind of points that you give them. They can then take those tokens and exchange them later on for rewards. So this is a teaching tool. When we are teaching kids to engage in a good behavior, maybe that's something like do your homework within 5 minutes of us coming to school. You have to be sitting at the table. Or we have to shower by 7 p.m. We have to be in the shower by 7 p.m. Those would be things that we would put on a token economy.
I got you.
And we use this to help teach and not control the behavior.
Yeah. But for which children or for which behavior do token economies tend to work best?
I would say any behavior that is very clearly defined and positively oriented. So not stop doing that, but go do this thing, because it will give the child a direction. So this could be really anything. Most behaviors that are something that the kid will have control over.
Yeah, but it has to be very clear so
It
the
does.
kid can understand that. And
Correct.
I see what you're saying.
And
but what? Oh, go.
Well, an example of something very clear wouldn't be more responsible. It would be put your folder away properly, and I will check it by 5 p.m.
I got you. I'll keep that in mind. So what are some common mistakes parents make when implementing token economy or token system at home, for example? Because this conversation also is an opportunity to provide some advice and guidance to parents so they can understand some how to support the kids. So sometimes they make mistakes. They make mistakes. That they are human beings and they are not perfect.
Of course, yes.
So what are some mistakes they need to understand and they need to know, and we need to talk about that.
Yeah. So I tend to see 3 pretty common mistakes. And I always say these token systems, they're like driving a car for the first time. You get in and you feel overwhelmed and there's so many things to manage, but then the second you do it a few times, it's with smooth sailing. We don't really have to think about it, but it's that setup period that can be the hardest for parents. So the first one is that the behaviors are not specific enough. Kids are smart. They will find loopholes. They will find ways to get around doing this new behavior because I don't want to change my actions. They've been working for me up until now. Why do I have to change? They can't always comprehend that. So if the behavior is not specific enough, it may not work right away.
Okay.
The second one would be the consistency with it. You have to remain so consistent with implementing the rewards because that's the buy-in for the child.
I got you.
And when I talk with parents about this, I say it's like going to work. If you're not getting your paycheck, most of us are probably not going to work.
Yeah.
At least not for very long after that, if I'm
Yeah.
not getting that reward.
That's true. That's true.
It's the same for children as well. The third one being response cost, which is taking tokens away for misbehavior. If you didn't do this right, or maybe you had a tantrum, I'm going to take some tokens away. Absolutely something that they can do, but we try to minimize that as much as possible. That might be, here is a specific behavior that we're working on. If that behavior happens, I'm taking one token away, not 30 at once.
I got you.
Because if someone started coming to your work and taking away money for your paycheck every time you didn't do something perfect, eventually you're going to say, this is not worth it, and quit. Kids will do the same. They are human beings just like us.
I got you. So we need to understand that. But there is a key point I would like to address with you. It's about like communication, effective communication. For example, in my community, so I'm Haitian. I was born and grew up in Haiti. So, parents are really how can I say that? Let's say strong, or your parents say something, you do it, and it's like that. It used to be like that. So assertive communication is something that we need to talk about more, or effective communication. And we have a lot of Asian Americans, so people living in the United States that are also Asian. So I would like this communication to be also an opportunity to share some advice and guidance on effective communication.
Yeah.
So how does the way adult give instruction or set limits influence children's behavior?
I think that's probably one of the biggest influences is how we speak to children. They are little humans just like us. And I said that before, but their brain are not all fully developed just yet. So when we give them 3 things to do at once, their brain's going to forget that. It can't hold the information and then pull back on it later on to say, oh, that's what mom said. Oh, that's what dad said. So if we're saying 3 things at once, like take that cup, put it away, unless it's blue, then put it in this cabinet, they're going to hold the cup and go, what do I do here? So we would have to make sure that we are being very specific with what we're saying. Take that cup, now put it in the cupboard, and give them one at a time like that.
So remember that kids are human beings just like us. That's important. So, but how can parents actually can reduce power struggles while still maintaining consistency? You mentioned the consistency before, and also structure, because this is very important.
And
How to find the balance, though.
Finding that balance is probably one of the most important things, and one of the things that parents tend to struggle with the most because it is hard. But I think the answer is there in the question. It's that consistency. That power struggle happens a lot throughout different stages of development. In the terrible twos, the teenage years, there is that power struggle. But if we are staying consistent in our expectations for the children, we are being very specific in what we're saying, we do have that structure, so it's not this day here's a rule, that day here's a different rule, that power balance tends to reduce. It goes down because kids know what's expected of them. And kids thrive when they know exactly what is expected of them and when there is that structure.
That is really important.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that's gonna be very, very important. This question for my fellow Haitians. So that's really important. So what will tone of voice or timing and clarity play when giving let's say directions or consequences?
It plays a huge role. Kids respond to tone. I'm going to correct that. People in general respond to tone.
Yeah.
Just like a child, if someone's coming up to me and they're in a very aggressive manner, they have a very angry tone, I might go on the defensive. Children do the same. But for them, usually, it's either I'm now defensive against you or I'm shutting down and I'm not listening to the words. Kids hear the emotion behind the words and not the words themselves. So we have to make sure that we are staying calm. We are choosing our words specifically, not 18 words at once, but if I need them to put on their shoes on, please. Very simple. That way they will hear what is being said and not the emotion behind it.
So we don't have to yell and say a lot of things at the same time, giving too much instruction. So be specific and make it clear for the child, so the child can understand the instruction and they can, so they can respond to that.
Right. And the staying calm part. I think that is the hardest part because parents get overwhelmed. But yes.
So because they say that a lot, I have a lot to do. I have to work. I have to take care of the kids, and the difference between their age, it's something that is complicated, and also I have co-parenting issues with the other parent or stuff like that. So it's like we understand the struggle, but does that mean also it's still the responsibility?
It is a responsibility, yes, because it is your child and it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
There are things that we can do to help with that, and there's support out there for it, though. And I don't want any parent to think that they have to do this alone, because that is not the case.
Let's see how we can provide them with some skills, like for a good parent-child relationship. So because I know you can provide us with some great insight. When we were talking about this conversation, so you mentioned also pride skills. So pride skills are often used in, let's say, parent coaching. Can you briefly explain what pride stands for?
Yes, so that's another acronym. It stands for, the P is for praise, the R is for reflection, the I, imitation, so that's going to be doing exactly what they do in the moment. The D is describe, so describe to them what they're doing. And the E is enjoyment. So each letter is a different skill in and of itself. If we start with that first one, praise. Praise is something that children love. And this goes back to that attention seeking that we talked about before. These skills will help to reduce that, because if I am giving attention to this child, I am praising them, telling them, hey, you did a great job. Wow, you colored that tree so beautiful. Wow, those Legos are so high. You did great. That kid is going to want more of that positive attention and less of that negative attention. So praise is a good one to help build up that relationship. The R for reflect, that's going to be, if the child is coloring, I'm going to reflect back to them what they're saying to me while they're coloring. So if they say, wow, I colored this tree green. Wow, you colored that tree green. And then we compare that with a praise. That's so amazing. You did great. For children, that reflection is, I hear you. I'm here with you and I hear you.
It's like also, you are not alone, I'm here. So that provides also, it's kind of safety. So and I'm there for you and I'm proud of you too.
Exactly. The I in that pride is going to be imitation. So imitation, that's, I am now playing with you and I'm doing what you're doing. So if the child is coloring, I am coloring. If they draw a tree, I might draw a tree. This is how children connect with other children. They will play side by side with them. Before they know how to join a game, before they know how to play together and do dolls and have them talk back and forth, they play next to each other. So that is also a sense of, I'm here with you, we're doing this thing together. The D in it is going to be describe. So that's going to be describe what they're doing, especially for children who are not that chatty, or maybe they don't like it when you're repeating exactly what they're saying. I might just describe what they're doing so they know I'm here with you.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right? Not I'm just sitting next to you quiet and maybe I'm paying attention, maybe I'm not. But it's, well, okay, so you drew a tree and now you're picking up the green crayon and you're coloring your tree green. And then again, pair it with that praise. You're doing amazing. That is that I'm here with you.
So I think describing may be very important, because sometimes even my daughter, I'm thinking about this, can say, Daddy, why are you copying me? When trying to probably imitate or to do. So does that mean instead of saying exactly the same thing, if this is about something she said, does that mean sometimes you need to rephrase or to describe, or Is that what you're saying, kind of?
And you can, absolutely, especially older children. They don't tend to love it when you're saying back exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a little weird. Why are you
Exactly.
copying me? So we can change up how we do it. If they say, I'm coloring the tree green, you can be like, oh, yeah, okay, that sounds nice. You're coloring the tree green.
Okay.
Right? It's
I see
not
what you're
exactly
saying.
the same thing, but it's changed just enough that it sounds conversational.
Yeah.
But even then, I can say the same thing because I can be like, oh, okay, so you and your daughter, you like to do things together, but she doesn't really like it when you copy her.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Said the same thing, but now you're like, exactly.
Yeah, I got you. So I think what about the eat?
The last one, the very one that is the most important, is the enjoyment. Enjoy that time with your child.
Yeah.
They can feel if you're enjoying it. They can feel if you're engaged. So enjoy that time. And I say usually to parents, if we can do 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, anytime that you have to do these skills, that's going to build the relationship over time. And they're going to come to say, okay, I know after dinner for 10 minutes, I get my parents' attention. I can rely on that attention. I don't need to be looking for attention elsewhere.
I got you.
That's that consistency.
That is really important. Yeah. Have fun.
Of course.
Yeah, so-
Always.
but how do you encourage, for example, parents to practice pride skills even during challenging moments? Because sometimes when you give advice and guidance, parents can be like, you don't know how challenging my kid can be. So you think it's gonna be
Absolutely.
easy for me to practice that? So what's your thought on that?
That would be a skill that we wouldn't practice during those specifically challenging moments, but one that builds up over time to eventually, when you get comfortable with the skills, you can pull these out when they're in a tantrum. If they're crying, and you can get down right next to them and say, I see you're very sad right now. I see that you're crying. I see you're frustrated. That would be that describing technique from the pride skills.
Yes.
Or you could say, well, I see that you're having a rough time. You're taking some deep breaths. I'm very proud of you for that. That would be that praise. So we can pull on them in the difficult moments, but that might be something we work up to. And that's why we set those 10 minutes a day to practice these skills, to get comfortable with the skills, and have them become muscle memory, second nature.
I got you. Yeah, second nature. So so that's the goal probably. So once we get there, that's gonna be fantastic. But how do you say that? So we have to make it work.
We do.
So we have to put the necessary effort to make it work. Yeah.
The good thing about that is the research shows that these skills work. Even with kids that are having extremely difficult behavior problems, these skills have been proven to work. And
That's
so
interesting.
that is something that I always remind the parents, like, it's not just me. It's a bunch of people way smarter than me who have done a lot of studies, have proven that these work.
Yeah, it works. So we're gonna talk about something else, and I would like to have your input. Attending and positive reinforcement. That is something that is really important. So can you explain the concept of attending and why it's so important for children?
Yeah. So attending is kind of what we were saying before. It is being there with your child and letting them know that I am paying attention to you.
Yeah.
It is that one-on-one attention that they get. And it's so important because behaviors that are reinforced, behaviors that are rewarded, get repeated. So if they are doing something that we don't like and we turn around and we say, hey, cut that out, and that's the only time they get that one-on-one attention, they're more likely to do that bad thing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But if they're playing very nicely and they're quiet and they're cleaning up their toys as they go, that might be when we would say, okay, I have to attend to that behavior because I want to see that more. Not only is it building up that relationship where now you and me are connecting here and it's this positive moment and it's a happy time. We're not just connecting over the meltdowns. It's, oh, mom likes it when I do this. Dad likes it when I do this. I'm going to do this more. And it might not be a conscious thought in children. They don't know that that's happening, but that's the connection that their brains make.
But why is positive? Why is positive reinforcement often more, let's say, offers uh, what I'm trying to say, it's like that can be more effective, positive reinforcement than focusing on the negative behaviors. So why we need to understand that and why this is more important, like positive reinforcement
Yeah.
instead of focusing on negative behaviors.
And I think that's because when it comes to children, they, like we said before, they respond to emotion. So if I am getting a lot of that good attention, I am going to seek that out. So not just that, it's going to build up my relationship with this child. So I don't maybe have to repeat myself 10 times. I can say it maybe 3 times in the beginning and they do it, or maybe 2 times. And then eventually they're doing it on that first try because we're building up the respect. We're building up the love and the connection that the parent and the
It's a
child has
process, though.
together. It is a
That
process.
requires time, and we have to be patient.
It does. And it
tough.
depends on the child. Some kids respond to it right away. Some kids are so desiring that positive attention that they might pick that up so fast.
I got you.
But
So, which means we may have 2 kids, and one responds to that very quickly, and one's needs more time.
Sure.
So, as parent, we need to understand that. We need to have discernment to understand. Hey,
Right.
so this kid can go probably fast, and the other one may need more time, and I
Right.
need to understand that, and I need to
Yeah.
be patient. So the approach can be a little bit different,
Of course.
based on the child.
yeah, a number of different factors. I mean, you mentioned before the importance of trauma. Trauma would be one of those factors
Yeah.
that may make it take a little longer because now it's not just, well, I'm looking for that negative attention, but that negative behavior might have been the thing that kept me safe. And that's going to be a hard thing to let go of. Or maybe I couldn't trust the adults around me for a period of time in my life. Now I'm trusting adults. That's going to be a hard connection to rewire in my brain. So it could take more time depending upon different things.
I think I would like to address now something that is important, and I don't want parents to feel like, so we are telling you what to do, we are giving you, I don't know, homeworks or stuff like that, but I just want you to feel like also we feel you, like we understand. So we validate your feelings. We understand it can be complicated. So that's why I would like to talk to you about something specific. For example, parents often feel guilt, they feel also not only guilt but frustration or burnout. So
Yeah.
when it comes to dealing with persistent behavior challenges, and it's tough. I know
It
it can be
is.
tough. So but how do you support caregivers, or how do you support parents emotionally?
Yeah. And one of the most important things that parents can do is work on changing how we're looking at these situations. A lot of the time, and this is people in general, when I get frustrated over something, my brain says, okay, great, I failed at this. It's not a failure. These children, they are smart. They know how to get what they want, and they're going to use that to their advantage. It's not that they're doing it on purpose. They're not trying to spite the parent. They're not trying to actually upset the parent, but they're doing it for that need. So understanding this is not me, and I am not failing as a parent. I'm doing great is going to be one of the most important things. And if you have a co-parent in the house with you, making sure you are saying that to the other parent, hey, I saw what you did. You're doing great. So we're hearing it as well. That's going to be...
I think it's important to say this, because sometimes parents can feel like they are not good enough, and it's important that they know they are also human beings.
Absolutely.
And they have feelings. But this is also the moment some of them may tend to yell. And this is why effective communication will be important. So how
Yes.
To be an example of self-regulation to your child. So that's really important too.
Yes.
But how do you help parents stay consistent? Consistent when, for example, progress feels slow or uneven. So
Yeah.
because we are telling them to do this, to do that, and when they
Mm-hmm.
don't see the result, the way they want to see that, and it's a little bit slow. So
Yeah.
how to help them to stay consistent?
And I think that consistency is one of the hardest things because it takes a lot. And kind of touching on what you said before, people tend to have their own emotional responses in the
Yeah.
moment. And I'm always telling parents that your nervous system matters too. Your emotions here matter too. But if I am trying to calm down a child in the moment, and I also notice I'm getting frustrated, we can use these techniques together. Let's take 10 deep breaths together. Let's go on a walk together. Let's just go hold on to an ice cube to help calm our bodies down, cool our bodies down. We can do these things with the child in order to help ourselves stay calm too.
And I think as a professional, that's what we understand. That's why most of the time when we are working with kids, we can take some time to talk to the parents before or after the session to provide some, parenting education. And at this moment, at this time, we also have an opportunity to provide kind of emotional support.
Yeah.
You feel like when you talk to in our practice, I experienced that. You feel like when the parents have a chance, even if they are not technically our client, but when they have a chance to talk to you, you can see they use this
Yes.
safe space
Of
to
course.
process their feelings. So this is a moment also that we can provide some emotional
Absolutely.
support. So
And then going back to that consistency question that you asked, I think the consistency, like I said, it is the hardest part, but there's things that we can do. So if what we're doing in that moment is maybe not working and we've tried it for a few weeks and we're not seeing a change, we can adapt some of these different skills, different
Yeah.
systems to the child. That's when we want to make them specific to the child. And I say to the parents, you know your child best. You know what's going to work for your child. So we can always adapt these systems in order to make it fit for them too.
Like what you're saying is we are providing them with skills, advice, guidance, but they know their kids probably better or clearly better than us.
Right.
So they may need to adapt the skills that we are sharing with them.
Yeah.
So to the specific needs of their kids.
Right.
This is what you're saying.
And you brought up a good one
Yeah.
before when you were saying your daughter wouldn't like it if you were just repeating back to
Exactly.
her word for
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
We can find ways to change that. Or if the token system is not working, maybe we change the rewards that are on there.
Yeah.
Maybe we change the type of token. Maybe they don't love stickers, but they like getting Monopoly money. We can adapt it to make it fit the child better.
That's interesting. So and for the parents, I think also something that is important is self compassion. How what role you believe self compassion play in effective parenting and also behavior management?
Yeah. Oh, it's everything. We have to be compassionate towards ourselves. We're doing the hardest job out there, which is caring for the life of another person. So we have to extend that compassion that we have to the children. We might not get upset if they spill a glass of water, but we might get upset if we do it. We have to extend that compassion to ourselves. We make mistakes. We're human.
Exactly.
Not everything is going to be perfect, and perfection is not success. Success is progress. Success is connection with that child.
I love it. Thank you for saying that. I think on this good note, we are about to do the closure.
Yes.
So I have like a quick question, one or two. If families or if parents take just one message away from this conversation, from our conversation, from today's conversation, what do you hope that can be? And if there is one takeaway from this conversation?
Yeah. I think that would be that behavior is just communication. That structure builds that safety and that connection and regulation, and to give ourselves a little bit of a break.
That's great.
And be compassionate.
Yeah. Another thing. So, what is one small, realistic step parents can start practicing this week? You can take a look at them. You can
Sure.
talk to them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say if there was one thing that we're going to be practicing, catch your child, be good. Find ways that you can attend to them and praise them day to day, even if it's something small, like, hey, I saw that you put your backpack away right after school. I appreciate that. Thank you. Because that's going to build up the relationship and the connection, and they're going to look for more ways to make you catch them be good.
Yeah. And this last one is going to be for, let's say, for my people, the parents, the Asian parents.
Yeah.
I know you are dealing with a lot of things. Some of you are experiencing a lot of changes, so moving from the home country Haiti to the United States, and now there is a lot of thing about immigration, and yeah, it's a lot going on. Laura, I would like to ask you, is there anything you would like to say directly to parents who may be feeling discouraged, who may be feeling stuck right now? What would it be, please?
If we're feeling that stuckness, that means that we're looking for a connection. If I'm feeling like I can't do something with this child, that connection needs to be bolstered. So you're doing great. It doesn't mean that we failed. It means we need to adapt, just like we were saying before. So make sure that we're being compassionate, we're taking care of ourselves in the process, and we're just looking for those ways to connect with our children.
Wow, Laura. So thank you so much. This is
Thank
the end.
you.
I feel like we could have had like a 2-hour conversation. So it's really nice talking to you.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You know, I appreciate you. I appreciate your work, and it's good to have you in the office. So that's amazing.
Yes.
It feels great working with you. So you are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. I feel the
Thank
same
you for
way.
being here today.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much. This is the end of this very amazing conversation with Dr. Laura Markowitz. So my name is Dr. Jeff. I'm the host and the creator of Reframing Podcast. I will see you soon for another conversation. Bye.
Reframing Podcast, c'est un podcast qui là pour faire sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale dans un langage qui facile pour comprendre. Reframing Podcast pote pour moun k'ap koute yo plusieurs sujets qui pourraient aider yo réfléchir sur une situation négative ou sinon difficile dans une autre perspective ou soit dans une façon qui plus positive, ça qui ka aider yo faire penser négatif tourner opportunité pour changement à croissance. Reframing Podcast, un espace pour sensibilisation et éducation sur santé mentale.